He didn't come for revenge. He came to end everything. And when Qing Shui raised his hand, heaven itself began to crumble. I really love making these videos, but I need your support to keep going. Please like, share, and subscribe so I don't have to give up on this dream. This purple-clad figure was the realm master of the slaughter realm. His face was deathly pale. Blood trailed from the corner of his mouth. His eyes were filled with shock. From within the purple mist, a streak of crimson light descended. It was too fast to follow, yet it did not aim for the purple-haired man. Instead, it struck toward Master Devil God. Master Devil God's expression changed drastically. He tried to evade, but before Qing Shui's Ji realm, he had no right to dodge. The red light pierced straight through his chest. The old man's eyes dimmed at once. His body collapsed. Among the Nirvana cleanser cultivators, his death was the cleanest. And yet, as he died, an endless melancholy surrounded him. The crimson lightning did not stop. After piercing his body, it swept across the land. Explosions echoed one after another. The bodies of the surrounding cultivators collapsed in succession. This was the power of Qing Shui's Ji realm. Wang Lin had already prepared to open his third eye. He had intended to use origin energy to face Master Devil God. But with Qing Shui's intervention, he seized the moment and charged toward Master Empty Fantasy. The purple mist in the sky churned violently. Then it contracted, shrinking into a fist-sized sphere that floated into Qing Shui's hand. In his other hand, he held a carved purple hairpin. A trace of gentleness appeared in Qing Shui's gaze as he looked at the hairpin. But when his eyes turned toward the cultivators of the slaughter realm, that gentleness vanished. Only indifference remained as he stepped forward. A place that I, Qing Shui, choose to slaughter will leave no survivors. The purple-haired man's face turned ashen. Without hesitation, he formed a seal with his right hand and pointed into the void. His entire arm collapsed into flesh. The flesh twisted rapidly, tearing open a crack in space. He tried to escape into it at once. All of you deserve death for using what I left my deceased wife as a treasure. Qing Shui pointed forward. A cold, hollow voice echoed from his lips. Celestial spell, mountain crumble. The moment the words fell, the slaughter realm trembled. 6 colossal mountains appeared out of nothing. Each towered 20,000 feet high. The instant they manifested, a crushing pressure filled the heavens. In a flash, the 6 mountains merged into one. A single peak, indistinguishable from reality, stood tall. The mountain trembled. Black smoke poured from its summit. As the smoke spread, a dark crimson flame erupted from the peak. The temperature of that flame could annihilate all life. It erupted outward, carrying massive boulders that crashed down mercilessly from the sky. The earth shook. It was as if the world itself had reached its end. Layers of poisonous dust spread across the land. The entire world became ruins. From the mountain's peak, waves of magma surged forth. In an instant, the slaughter realm was engulfed in searing heat and destructive aura. This magma possessed the power to destroy everything beneath heaven. Cultivators with insufficient cultivation were struck by the poisonous dust. Their bodies withered as they screamed, dissolving into nothingness. Some struggled within the magma, but its temperature was too terrifying. Even with spells and treasures, escape was nearly impossible. The spatial crack opened by the purple-haired man collapsed instantly under the spell's might. He staggered back, face pale. He was a Nirvana shatterer at the early stage. He had even used a broken pseudo-Nirvana void treasure. Yet he was utterly unable to resist Qing Shui. At this moment he held only one thought: escape, at all costs. Unfortunately, I am the only Nirvana shatterer in the slaughter realm. Most Nirvana cleanser cultivators are at Alliance headquarters. If I had enough allies, I could form the 99 sword formation, but even that might not withstand this spell. As for Master Empty Fantasy, his face turned pale. He abandoned his battle with Wang Lin entirely. Seeing Wang Lin pursuing him, he cursed and flung the 9 swords outward. He knew Wang Lin coveted those swords. He hoped to use them to divert him. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He immediately gave up the chase. With a wave of his right hand, he seized the 9 swords. They struggled violently in his grasp. Qing Shui's eyes surged with monstrous killing intent. He raised both hands and pushed upward. Mountain, first crumble. At his command, the flames and magma erupting from the mountain trembled. They surged into the sky, then collapsed. An unimaginable shockwave spread across the slaughter realm. More than 10 cultivators were engulfed by flame and magma. They could not resist. They were reduced to ash. Second crumble. The entire realm quaked violently. The mountain peak shattered. Endless magma and flame burst forth in a frenzy. Third crumble. Qing Shui formed a seal and pointed toward the distant mountain. In that instant, the mountain truly collapsed. Countless fragments scattered. Flames devoured the heavens. In the blink of an eye, the sky was gone. Only fire remained. Magma surged like an endless sea, swallowing all land in an instant. Above boundless flame, below endless magma. Between them a suffocating poisonous mist. Miserable screams echoed everywhere. In a short span of time, all perished. All except the purple-haired man and Master Empty Fantasy. Even Master Empty Fantasy's origin energy began to dissipate. The terror in his eyes deepened. The purple-haired man gave a bitter smile. He abandoned resistance and looked at Qing Shui with a complicated gaze. He understood Qing Shui had spared them for now. Otherwise, he would have died long ago within the purple mist. All structures within the slaughter realm melted away. Not a single trace remained. Wang Lin stood stunned. He had never imagined that mountain crumble possessed such terrifying power. This is the celestial spell, Mountain Crumble. Qing Shui waved his sleeve. From the magma below, 88 streaks of silver light shot forth. With a grasp of his hand, they merged into one. He tossed the silver sphere toward Wang Lin. "Since you like it, I'll give it to you." Wang Lin caught the sphere and stored it away. Qing Shui's figure flickered, turning into a gust of black wind. He seized Master Empty Fantasy and the purple-haired man. Then he stepped forward coldly. The slaughter realm began its final collapse. It had originally existed within a spatial crack of the Rain Celestial realm. Now, as space shattered, the slaughter realm was swallowed by the void. A massive vortex appeared beneath Qing Shui's feet. His body sank into it. He glanced at Wang Lin and spoke calmly. "I still have matters to attend to. Shu Mu. After today, it is uncertain when we shall meet again. You take care." With that, he vanished into the vortex, taking both captives with him. Wang Lin remained silent. Then he stepped into the vortex as well, leaving the collapsing slaughter realm behind. His figure appeared among the stars. He let out a soft sigh and looked back. After a long time, his body flickered. He merged with the void and headed toward planet Tian Yun. In the distant starry sky, Qing Shui moved forward calmly. Behind him, Master Empty Fantasy and the purple-haired man followed with ashen expressions. Between their brows, a mark flickered. A slave mark. In Qing Shui's hand was the purple hairpin. His gaze softened gradually. Yet within that softness lay deep pain and remembrance. The heavens delight in toying with men. In his life, Qing Shui had shed tears only twice. The first time was when the nation of clear water was destroyed. His parents died. He, a mere cultivator, had barely escaped death. Grief and fury filled him. He wept. The second time was when madness consumed him in the Thunder Celestial realm. He killed the one he loved. Tears of remorse fell. This hairpin stirred endless memories within him. He remembered the day he became Bai Fan's disciple. That day, he gave this hairpin to her. Those moments of happiness he could never forget. Pain pierced his heart. For the third time in his life, tears fell from Qing Shui's eyes. Han Yan. Memories flowed like water slipping through his fingers. Cold, impossible to grasp. What surfaced unintentionally was sorrow enough to drown a man. Scenes of the past unfolded before him. His wife's fading gaze. Even in her final moments, she held this hairpin tightly. Its tip remained embedded deep within her heart. Fresh blood dripped from it, staining the ground. Qing Shui, I did not die because of you. I died because of myself. You must not feel guilt. You must not grieve your entire life. You did not harm me. To spare him guilt upon regaining clarity, she smiled and ended her own life before him while he was lost in madness, her gentle gaze filled with reluctance, her smile carrying silent tears. That moment awakened Qing Shui. The man I love is one of unyielding spirit. He will not abandon his life for a single moment of despair, nor waste it in sorrow. He will endure and seek the truth behind everything. Qing Shui's eyes were filled with sorrow as he murmured, "Rest assured, Han Yan, I will uncover the truth behind all of this." Wang Lin's figure drifted through the void like a phantom. He did not head straight toward planet Tian Yun. Instead, he relied on the faint connection he still held to search for Lei Ji, the big-headed boy, and Ta Shan. Amid the chaos of battle, he had no time to care about their fate. When it ended, he had already stepped into the void and vanished without a trace. Only after leaving the void did he finally have the chance to look for them. During the battle, Wang Lin had even lost Ta Shan's presence entirely. Yet because of the seal binding them, locating him was not difficult. He remembered clearly none of the three had been directly affected by the clash. At this moment he closed his eyes. His divine sense spread outward vast and silent. After a long while, a familiar fluctuation appeared in the east. Wang Lin opened his eyes. His expression remained calm. He stepped forward. Ripples formed beneath his feet and he vanished. The mountain crumble celestial spell. Its power far exceeded expectations. I knew Bai Fan's latter three spells would surpass the first, but this is beyond reason. Mountain crumble. What level of comprehension is required to create such a technique? I don't even know when I will reach the point of creating my own. Far to the east, a drifting rock floated slowly through space. It was clearly a fragment from a shattered cultivation planet. As it moved, bits of debris broke away and scattered. A faint trace of spell fluctuations lingered around it, dissipating like smoke. The rock appeared utterly ordinary. Among the countless stones in the stars, it drew no attention. Within this rock, Ta Shan concealed himself. After losing contact with Wang Lin, his thoughts had gone blank. Yet Qing Lin's spell had fused his origin soul into his body, preserving a measure of awareness. He was no longer a mere puppet, devoid of thought. When Ta Shan realized Wang Lin was gone, instinct guided him. He returned to his rock, entered it, and began to cultivate in silence. On this day, Ta Shan suddenly opened his eyes. There was no emotion within them, only stillness. His body moved. He stepped out from within the rock and stood upon its surface. Before him, ripples appeared. Wang Lin stepped out from the void. Ta Shan's expression did not change. He simply revealed a trace of respect. Wang Lin smiled faintly and waved his hand. Ta Shan took a step, his form dissolving into a shadow that vanished behind Wang Lin. Next, Big Head and Lei Ji. Wang Lin closed his eyes once more, sensing the imprint left on the big-headed boy. After a long time, his brows furrowed. The imprint, it is extremely weak. It feels as though it could dissipate at any moment. He stepped forward again. Ripples spread and he disappeared. In the distant stars, a massive figure staggered forward, leaving behind a trail of blood. His entire body was covered in wounds. With every step, blood poured out. Each movement left a heavy crimson mark in the void. Almost every step forced blood from his flesh. More terrifying, still deep pits marked the 1st through 7th bones along his spine. Each cavity emitted an eerie green glow. Similar green pits covered his joints, dozens upon dozens of them. On his shoulder rested a frail cultivator. The man's appearance was strange. His head was disproportionately large. His aura was weak, nearly extinguished. On his back, a black handprint festered. It exuded a foul stench. Black smoke rose from it, accompanied by a faint sizzling sound. The flesh of his back had collapsed inward. It decayed rapidly. Only through sheer will did he resist the pain and remain conscious. Lei Ji, leave me behind. Go on alone. Black blood seeped from the corner of the big-headed boy's mouth. His eyes had lost all light. Lei Ji remained silent for a moment. Then his pace increased. After a long while, his voice came heavy and resolute. "Big head, you were injured saving me. I Lei Ji of the giant demon clan. How can I abandon you? Even if I did, they would not stop chasing. Their target is me. Say no more. Focus on healing." The big-headed boy forced a bitter smile. His gaze drifted toward the endless stars ahead, growing dimmer still. In that fading light, he seemed to see his mother from long ago. She was not scolding him. She looked at him gently, calling him "Mother." He murmured softly. A deathly aura began to gather around him. In his haze, figures appeared, his family, and all those he had slain. They emerged one by one, standing before him, gazing coldly. His body trembled. A deep chill spread through him. It was not only the cold of his flesh, but the desolation within his heart. Memories of childhood surfaced again and again. Am I about to leave? After thousands of years of cultivation, in the end, I still must leave. The stench from the black handprint intensified. Nearly his entire back had turned black. His eyes slowly closed. The cold wrapped around him, and his consciousness began to fade. "Big head, hold on. I believe Master will come for us." Lei Ji's roar thundered into his ears just as his vision dimmed. The big-headed boy's body trembled. With great effort, he forced his eyes open a sliver. A faint wry smile appeared. "Is that so?" Behind them, two colossal figures, each 10,000 feet tall, gave chase. They strode across the stars like ancient giants, each step shaking the void. Between their brows flickered the mark of an axe. Their gazes were cold, filled with killing intent. Atop one of the giants sat a young man in a blue robe. His features were handsome, almost flawless, yet a trace of wickedness lingered in his expression. He did not sit cross-legged. Instead, he reclined lazily, holding a handful of red cherries. From time to time, he ate one, his eyes fixed on Lei Ji, with a gaze both playful and possessive. In this alliance, no flesh has ever escaped this young master. I never expected that on a casual outing, I would encounter the body of a royal giant demon clan member. Not bad. Not bad at all. That old fossil at home warned me not to wander, said the alliance was in chaos due to war. If I had listened, how would I have found such a body? He smiled, biting into a cherry. Then he spat out the pit. The seed shot forth as a streak of light racing toward Lei Ji. Its speed was terrifying. In an instant, it caught up. It exploded, forming a green skull that lunged toward the 8th segment of Lei Ji's spine. Yet just as the skull was about to strike, a hand emerged from the void. It seized the skull. Without hesitation, it clenched. The skull shattered. Behind Lei Ji, ripples spread through space. A cold voice echoed out, "You have quite the nerve to injure my mount and my servant." "Master." Lei Ji's body trembled as he turned abruptly. "Master." The big-headed boy forced his eyes open, revealing a joy beyond measure. As ripples spread across the air, Wang Lin stepped forward calmly. He did not spare a glance for the blue-robed youth. His gaze fell only upon Lei Ji's injuries and upon the big-headed boy hovering between life and death. The instant he saw the black handprint on the boy's back, a trace of coldness flickered through his eyes. He raised his right hand, seized the boy, and pressed his palm firmly against him. A vast surge of origin energy poured into the boy's body. The boy's face flushed red. He coughed violently, expelling a mouthful of black blood that carried a foul, suffocating stench. Meanwhile, the young man in blue continued eating cherries, reclining lazily. After swallowing one, he pointed at Wang Lin and said flatly, "Son Guzi, you've possessed this giant demon clan body long enough. You can use your cultivation now. Go kill the one who dared insult me." The giant demon clan member beside him immediately showed reverence. "As you command." He turned sharply, eyes filled with killing intent, as they locked onto Wang Lin. With a grin, he stepped forward, forming a fist as he advanced. As he moved, his right hand formed a seal. Beneath his feet, a vast ocean suddenly manifested. A towering wave rose, carrying him forward as though he rode upon it. "Junior, accept death." His palm pressed forward. The ocean churned violently, gathering into his hand. It condensed into a roaring sea dragon that surged toward Wang Lin. As the dragon charged, the scent of the sea filled the air. Wang Lin did not move. His right hand remained on the boy's back. He did not even look at the incoming dragon or the man behind it. This opponent was merely at the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. Even without his 5-star royal ancient god body, Wang Lin could have killed him effortlessly with origin energy alone. Though the giant demon clan possessed strong physiques, they were insignificant compared to an ancient god. Wang Lin raised his left hand and waved it casually. An invisible force surged outward. In that instant, crackling sounds echoed through space itself. The air between them seemed on the verge of shattering. The blue-robed youth, just about to bite another cherry, paused. His eyes narrowed. As for Sun Guzi, just as the sea dragon surged forward, it collided with an unimaginable force. The dragon trembled, releasing a mournful hiss. It halted abruptly, then was pushed backward. Its scales peeled away, instantly dissolving into water. Under the relentless pressure, the sea dragon collapsed and vanished completely. Sun Guzi's pupils shrank. He tried to retreat, but it was too late. The backlash struck him. His chest caved in as he coughed up blood, stumbling backward in panic. Explosions erupted within his body. Each burst forced blood mist to spray from his flesh. In just a few breaths, he was drenched in blood. Terror filled his eyes. When he saw Wang Lin's left hand reaching toward him, his mind nearly collapsed. "Young master, save me." The blue-robed youth's expression darkened. He stood abruptly, grabbing a cluster of cherries. With a squeeze, they exploded. Countless seeds coated in red liquid shot toward Wang Lin. Mid-flight, the seeds transformed into green skulls. Wrapped in crimson fluid, they emitted piercing, shrill screams. But he was too late. The giant demon clan man lost control of his own body. Fear overwhelmed him as he was dragged forward. His speed was terrifying. In an instant, he was before Wang Lin. Wang Lin's left hand struck him lightly. His eyes dimmed. A terrifying force shook his body, forcibly tearing his origin soul out. The moment it emerged, Wang Lin grasped it. His hand became like an iron claw. No matter how the origin soul struggled, it could not escape. Wang Lin lifted his foot and kicked the empty body. It flew backward, colliding directly with the incoming green skulls. A heaven-shaking explosion erupted. The body shattered into countless fragments. Yet instead of scattering, the fragments were devoured completely by the skull's strange suction. All of this happened in a single instant. Throughout it all, Wang Lin's right hand never left the boy's back. Thick black mist poured out from the boy's head. The aura of death faded, replaced gradually by vitality. "What? Are you?" the blue-robed youth asked, shaken to the core. No ordinary cultivator could kill an early-stage Nirvana Scrya so effortlessly, especially one possessing a giant demon body. Yet Wang Lin's cultivation appeared no higher than the same realm. Wang Lin did not answer. He raised his right hand and pressed down on the boy's back once more. This time, distorted strands of mist emerged. The black handprint shifted. 5 fragments of black souls formed a palm, attempting to devour Wang Lin's hand. Wang Lin's expression did not change. Miserable screams, audible only through divine sense, echoed briefly. The 5 soul fragments were annihilated instantly. Endless black gas surged outward. The boy trembled violently, his blood seeming to reverse. He coughed up a large mass of black blood, which melted like ice and vanished. In just a few breaths, everything was over. Wang Lin withdrew his hand. Then he turned his gaze cold and stepped toward the blue-robed youth. The youth's expression changed drastically. Without needing an order, the remaining giant demon retreated in fear. He knew he was stronger than his fallen companion, but utterly insignificant before Wang Lin. "I am an inner disciple of the corpse sect," the youth shouted, his face dark. "This is a misunderstanding. I hope Senior will not pursue this matter." As he spoke, his hands formed a seal. Green gas emerged from his body, gathering into his right hand. In an instant, it glowed with eerie green light. "Corpse sect." Wang Lin's expression shifted slightly. The youth's eyes flashed viciously. Seizing the moment of hesitation, he struck without pause. 5 ghost yin god wheel. 5 streaks of green light shot out, transforming into ghostly figures. They wailed miserably as they turned into green handprints rushing toward Wang Lin. Their ferocity was overwhelming. Wang Lin remained calm. He waved his hand. A violent gust swept forward. The handprints shattered. The 5 ghosts screamed as they dissipated. Wang Lin stepped forward, clenched his right fist, and threw a punch without mercy. Thunder roared. A storm surged. The youth's face turned pale, but he did not panic. Instead, he pressed both hands onto the giant demon beneath him. The giant trembled, his face bitter. His hands formed a seal as he pointed upward. Giant demon clan bloodline ability. His body shook violently. A crack split open between his brows. Ghostly light emerged, but it did not attack. Instead, it wrapped around the youth. A vortex appeared behind him. It formed without warning. No suction emanated from it. The youth stepped into it immediately. Giant demon bloodline. Wang Lin let out a cold snort. His fist swung again, unleashing an even more violent storm toward the vortex. At that very moment, the giant demon clenched his teeth. His origin energy reversed. His origin soul destabilized. Body and soul fell out of balance. As energy surged into his soul, he endured the agony, and then it exploded. The origin soul's detonation unleashed a destructive force that engulfed his entire body. His body exploded as well. The force did not scatter. It surged entirely toward Wang Lin like a raging storm seeking to halt him. Behind it, the vortex faded. Within it, the youth's sneer lingered. "I don't care who you are. I will learn your name. You will die for provoking the corpse sect." His figure vanished. Wang Lin remained calm. As the destructive force approached, he slapped his storage bag. The long unused third god-slaying war chariot flew out. With a thunderous sound, it transformed into a breathtaking butterfly. The 5-colored butterfly was exquisitely beautiful. Each gentle beat of its wings released a drifting mist of 5-colored powder. Beside it lingered a blood sparrow once belonging to the blood god, yet now captured and subdued by the butterfly. The butterfly drifted forward. Its left wing gave a soft, almost casual flap. The storm surging toward it suddenly trembled as though struck by an unseen force. Its left wing flapped a second time. A trace of law emerged. The destructive shockwave was forced backward, as if pressed by a pair of vast, invisible hands. Then came the third flap. With it, 3 more butterflies appeared out of nothingness. They moved in unison, wings beating together. The destructive force surged, accelerating violently as it rushed toward the rapidly collapsing vortex. At the very instant the vortex was about to vanish, the destructive force, along with that sliver of law from the 5-colored butterfly, pierced directly into it. A miserable scream echoed from within. Then the vortex vanished completely. Within the Alliance star system existed a hidden sea of souls unknown to outsiders. Vast tracts of land floated within this silent ocean. On one such island stood numerous structures. Near a tall black building, a vortex suddenly formed. The moment it appeared, explosions rang out. Blood sprayed wildly into the air. From within the vortex, the origin soul of a young man in blue shot out. It flickered weakly, as though it might collapse at any moment. At that exact instant, the door of the building swung open. An old man stepped out. His expression was dark, his presence oppressive. His speed was terrifying. He instantly reached out and seized the origin soul. "Grandpa, save me." The blue-robed youth barely managed to open his eyes and utter those words before falling. Unconscious, his origin soul continued to dissipate. Though it did not shatter, it had become extremely fragile. Wang Lin frowned. He had clearly sensed that when the butterfly's power entered the vortex and struck the youth, a flash of black light had appeared, dissolving most of the attack. Although that black light had collapsed afterward, it had prevented death. The youth was gravely injured, but not killed. A life-saving treasure, Wang Lin murmured inwardly. He turned and walked toward Lei Ji. Seeing the green glow emanating from Lei Ji's joints, Wang Lin pressed his right hand down one point at a time. Each time his fingers landed, the green light shattered into fragments of soul and vanished. Moments later, no trace of green light remained on Lei Ji's body. Lei Ji exhaled deeply, relief evident, and looked at Wang Lin with respect. His massive body transformed into a mountain-like form and soared through the stars. Wang Lin sat upon his back. Beside him, the big-headed boy remained in quiet recovery. They drew ever closer to planet Tian Yun. 10 days passed. Wang Lin gazed at the familiar star field ahead. He knew that not far beyond lay the territory of the rank 7 cultivation country, Tian Yun. During these 10 days, he had considered what he must do upon arriving. Yet more than that, his thoughts lingered on the hand seals used by esteemed Xuan Bao with the 4 colored butterflies. He had memorized them carefully, but no matter how many times he attempted them over these 10 days, he felt nothing at all. Now Wang Lin slowly stood, his gaze fixed forward. Big head. Lei Ji, find an abandoned planet. Hide yourselves and wait for me, he said calmly. If I remain safe, I will summon you. If no word comes, leave this place immediately. With that, his body flickered. He stepped off Lei Ji's back and moved forward alone. His white robes flowed, his black hair drifting behind him. He resembled a wandering celestial. Step by step, he re-entered the sphere of influence of planet Tian Yun. This journey is both fortune and calamity. But there are things that must be done. He paused slightly. And perhaps, this crisis is not as difficult as I once believed. In truth, everything revolves around that celestial cave token. He continued forward deep in thought. They all want the token. The matter with the blood god. The All-Seer's schemes. Countless forces pressed me into leaving. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. Back then, my cultivation was too weak. I had no power to resist. Before the All-Seer, I was nothing. Even now, I still cannot oppose him directly, but killing me will not be so easy anymore. His hand rose, touching the space between his eyebrows. His true trump card was not a treasure, nor a spell. It was the third eye hidden there. After comprehending the second battle scroll, I obtained another sliver of source origin energy. This is my true life-saving method. He continued forward. After all, the All-Seer and I have not openly turned against each other. I am still his disciple. And more importantly, Huanglong claimed I am from planet Suzaku, a disciple of the Vermilion Bird branch of the 4 divine sect. A faint sneer appeared. That alone is worth careful thought. He pressed his brow. The third eye appeared, then shifted into ancient god stars. A bead emerged, flickered briefly, and vanished. In its place remained only a faint red mark radiating subtle heat. If not for Master Flame's Spark granting me enough origin energy to reach mid-stage Nirvana Scryer once my domain matured, and if not for inheriting Lu Chen's legacy to become a 5-star royal ancient god, I would never have noticed. This mark, his gaze sharpened. This mark contains the power of the world. When my divine sense gathers upon it, I can hear the faint cry of the Vermilion Bird. He paused. I did not possess this mark when I returned to planet Suzaku. Therefore, it must be connected to sect head Huanglong. His eyes lit up. The Vermilion Bird mark flickered. He surged forward. In the distance, planet Tian Yun appeared. Looking upon it, Wang Lin could not help but sigh softly. He would never forget how after leaving planet Suzaku, he had come here and become a disciple of the Purple Division. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of years have passed. He shook his head and advanced. When I first arrived, I was merely at the soul transformation stage. Now, I can battle Nirvana Cleanser cultivators. But as he moved, his expression suddenly changed. He stopped. His gaze locked onto the planet ahead. Above planet Tian Yun, golden light flickered. They were strands of sword energy, countless overlapping, forming a vast storm. Upon closer inspection, all of them were gathered above the Heavenly Fate sect. Ling Tianho. Wang Lin's expression darkened as he sensed that familiar aura among the swords. After a brief pause, he continued forward without hesitation. Outside the Heavenly Fate sect sword energy filled the sky like a raging storm. Every sword bore a cultivator disciples of the Dalu sword sect. At the forefront stood a ferocious red Qilin. Its eyes crackled like lightning. Endless flames roared from its body, and hot breath poured from its nostrils. Upon its back sat a gaunt old man with a cold expression. Behind him floated 4 illusory swords flickering with immense pressure. Ling Tianho. Around him stood 4 more figures of terrifying cultivation. 3 were elderly men with white hair, their gazes as profound as sun and moon. One wore black and white robes marked with yin and yang. His face revealed nothing. He sat calmly upon a massive gourd. Behind him stood 9 disciples floating respectfully. Another was enormous, like a mountain of flesh, seated upon a purple bamboo chair, carried by 4 burly men. The third wore yellow robes, thin as a corpse, yet brimming with vitality. He stood alone, expression indifferent. The final figure was a woman. She appeared middle-aged, dressed plainly like a mortal villager. Yet an earthy aura surrounded her. Behind her stood 4 women of unparalleled beauty. Especially the one on the left, clad in pink, her beauty was breathtaking. They drew the attention of nearly all the Dalu sword sect cultivators. Yet the 4 women remained indifferent, their gazes fixed forward. Ling Tianho spoke coldly, All-Seer. Back then, your disciple Wang Lin took the token. You claimed that today a mystery of the heavens would be revealed. He narrowed his eyes. This old man wishes to see exactly what this mystery is. In the past, these old monsters had all sent greed to find Wang Lin, yet no news had returned. Most of the seals they had placed upon greed had vanished. The matter of the demon spirit land was of great importance. Their patience had run thin. Thus they came, because Wang Lin belonged to the Heavenly Fate sect. Back then, the All-Seer had merely said one sentence. When green and purple light fill the sky, you may come to my Heavenly Fate sect and witness the mystery of the heavens. This very morning, the clear skies of planet Tian Yun had suddenly been flooded with green and purple light, vivid and overwhelming. Immediately, Ling Tianho arrived with his disciples. At the same time, other old monsters who knew of the matter rushed here as well. After all, the All-Seer's divination was renowned throughout the Alliance. Clad in white, the All-Seer stood calmly in the sky. Around him stood the disciples of the Heavenly Fate sect, their expressions cold as they gazed outward, though many of their eyes lingered on the 4 beautiful women. He is here, the All-Seer said softly, a faint smile on his lips. His gaze shifted toward the horizon. The moment he spoke, Ling Tianho, the 3 old monsters, and the woman all sensed it. At once, every cultivator turned. Their gazes converged upon the distant horizon. The 4 women behind the middle-aged woman stared without blinking. I wonder, what Wang Lin, the one who shook the demon spirit land and drew the attention of all great cultivators of all heaven looks like? The woman in pink narrowed her eyes slightly, curiosity shimmering within them. Not only her, but the other 3 beautiful women also lifted their gaze toward the sky, their eyes clear and intent. Over the years, Wang Lin's name had gradually become a taboo, something rarely spoken, yet never forgotten. And yet the more it was forbidden, the more the rumors spread, growing like shadows in the dark. Above the square of the Heavenly Fate sect, Bai Wei looked up at the sky, his emotions tangled and difficult to name. He found it hard to imagine what that man from the past had become after all this time. Beside him stood a gloomy, middle-aged man in a purple robe. His gaze was sharp as lightning. As he stared into the sky, he let out a cold snort in his heart. Wang Lin, even if you survived these years, you could not have advanced much. I wonder just how far beneath me you now stand, Xianxia. Bai Wei glanced cautiously at the man and felt a chill of dread. This senior brother had advanced greatly during his secluded cultivation. He had already broken through the ascendant stage and stood only a step away from illusory yin. Xianxia became one of the All-Seer's 7 true disciples 30 years ago. He holds a grudge against Wang Lin. If they meet, killing intent will be inevitable. Standing beside them was a woman. Her expression was dim, her gaze fixed on the sky, yet it seemed she cared for nothing at all. She was the fourth disciple of the Purple Division Wang Lin's fourth senior apprentice sister. Back then, under pressure from Xianxia, she had been forced to trap Wang Lin with a spell. Later, after Wang Lin escaped, she had taught him the greater teleportation technique, resolving the enmity between them. In the distance stood a youth who appeared around 30 years old. He wore a blue robe embroidered with 3 fierce blue dragons. The dragons were vivid and lifelike, especially their eyes, which radiated a terrifying sharpness. If Wang Lin saw him, he would recognize him instantly. This was Sima Rufeng of the Blue Division, the one who had once joined forces with the fourth senior sister to trap him. Within the Heavenly Fate sect, everyone who knew Wang Lin harbored their own thoughts. Yet no one believed that if he appeared today, he would be able to leave alive. As countless gazes gathered at the horizon, a white figure slowly emerged. His black hair drifted in the wind, faintly tinged with purple beneath the sunlight. His white robes flowed like fresh snow, giving him the bearing of a celestial descending into the mortal world. A sense of 1,000 years of solitude clung to him. He walked forward without haste, the blazing red sun at his back, casting his face into shadow. Only his eyes remained visible, bright deep, and filled with the wisdom of ages. It was a breathtaking sight. At first he was distant, yet in a single step he had already arrived outside the Heavenly Fate sect. Wang Lin, Wang Lin. In an instant, several people recognized him. So, this is Wang Lin. The woman in pink fixed her beautiful eyes upon the white-robed figure. Ling Tianhu's gaze flashed like lightning filled with a dense sword intent. The moment he saw Wang Lin, his brows furrowed. Though his expression remained cold, a trace of shock flickered within his eyes. Early-stage Nirvana Scryer. This Wang Lin was only at the soul transformation stage. In merely a few hundred years, he has reached such heights. Unless he encountered a heaven-defying fortune, this would be impossible. And that mark between his brows, shock surged like waves within Ling Tianhu's heart. The old man with the body like a mountain of flesh abruptly opened his eyes. They shone with brilliance as he stared at Wang Lin in disbelief. The corpse-like old man's expression also shifted. He gave Wang Lin a long, penetrating look, then glanced toward the All-Seer as though he had realized something. The old man seated upon the gourd revealed a faint smile. Yet a ghostly glint flickered deep within his eyes, concealing his true thoughts. The vermilion bird mark. The middle-aged woman's expression changed as she carefully examined Wang Lin. Even these ancient monsters reacted so. As for the surrounding cultivators, there was no need to speak of them. Few could discern Wang Lin's true cultivation, yet all could feel the immense pressure emanating from him. The woman in pink studied him with growing interest. All of this seemed slow, yet it occurred in the instant of his arrival. Every expression fell into Wang Lin's eyes. He lightly brushed his robes, then calmly looked toward the All-Seer. With a respectful clasp of his hands, he said, "Disciple Wang Lin greets Master." The All-Seer's gaze lingered on the mark between Wang Lin's brows, a strange light flickering within his eyes. After a long moment, he smiled gently. "It is good that you have returned. Wang Lin, these seniors have questions for you. You must answer them truthfully." At that moment, a middle-aged man behind Wang Lin pointed at him and shouted, "You little brat Wang Lin, you dare return. Back then, you slaughtered members of my Dalu sword sect in the demon spirit land. Today, you will repay in blood." Wang Lin smiled faintly, yet his eyes were cold as ice. He glanced at the man and said calmly, "Senior Ling Tianhao, does your disciple truly have the qualification to speak to me in such a manner?" Ling Tianhu's expression darkened further. His gaze locked onto the mark between Wang Lin's brows. Though he felt some apprehension toward the vermilion bird mark, what truly unsettled him were the other two mysterious forces hidden there. What fortune did this Wang Lin encounter in these past centuries? It is as if he has been reborn. With a sweep of his sleeve, the shouting middle-aged man trembled and was forced back into the crowd. Ling Tianhu's voice turned cold. Indeed, he lacks the qualification. To reach early-stage Nirvana Scryer at your age, If we were to cast aside enmity, even this old man would admire you." His words fell like a stone into boiling oil. The entire crowd erupted in shock. Bai Wei inhaled sharply, his mind blank as he stared at Wang Lin. He could not comprehend how the man who had once stood at soul transformation had now become a legendary Nirvana scryer, cultivator. Nirvana scryer. Zhao Xingxia's body trembled violently. His eyes widened in disbelief, frozen where he stood. Not just them, nearly every cultivator present reacted the same way. It was simply too inconceivable. This Wang Lin has truly reached the Nirvana scryer stage. Though still beneath us, he is no longer a junior to be overlooked. The old man on the gourd said with a smile, "Wang Lin, answer me. Why did you flee through the vortex before us back then? Did you do something you wished to hide?" Wang Lin's expression remained calm. Junior did indeed cause a calamity in the demon spirit land. Thus I had no choice but to leave. The skinny old man's eyes gleamed. What calamity? In self-defense, Junior was forced to trap the Blood Ancestor's daughter. When seniors arrived alongside the Blood Ancestor, I naturally had to flee. The moment he finished speaking, the Flesh Mountain old man sat upright. "Is the Celestial Cave token in your possession?" Wang Lin turned his gaze toward him. "May I ask which senior told you this?" The old man felt his mind tremble under Wang Lin's gaze. His expression shifted, disbelief flashing within his eyes. The All-Seer's expression remained gentle. "Enough, Wang Lin. Your teacher asks you, do you possess the Celestial Cave token?" Wang Lin bowed respectfully. Since Master asks, this disciple dares not conceal it. "In the demon spirit land, I did indeed obtain a Celestial Cave token." The moment those words fell, the eyes of the old monsters lit up. Silent calculations filled their minds. An oppressive aura spread outward, converging upon Wang Lin. The old man on the gourd stared at the mark between Wang Lin's brows. "Wang Lin, hand over the token, and you may keep your life." The Flesh Mountain old man's gaze turned hostile. "You are not qualified to possess such a thing." Before Wang Lin could reply, killing intent surged from Ling Tianhou. "Now that we know the token is in his hands, why waste time?" With a cold snort, he pointed forward. A heaven-shaking sword energy shot toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin remained calm. As the sword energy approached, he stepped back and threw a punch. A thunderous sonic boom erupted. The air trembled violently. A black vortex emerged from his fist, colliding directly with Ling Tianhou's sword energy. At that very instant, the All-Seer's eyes flashed. He waved his sleeve, and a seven-colored wind surged forth, descending between them. This wind carried a mysterious force. As it passed, Wang Lin's black vortex dissipated, and Ling Tianhou's sword energy was neutralized. Everything was gently erased. "Ling Tianhou, to attack my Heavenly Fate sect's disciple within my sect. Do you truly think I am not present?" The All-Seer said calmly. Behind Ling Tianhou, 4 origin swords rose into the air. He stared at the All-Seer and shouted, "All-Seer, could it be that you intend to seize the token for yourself?" The All-Seer's expression darkened. His voice remained calm yet carried unquestionable authority. "As long as he has not betrayed his sect, he remains my disciple. So your Heavenly Fate sect intends to protect him." Ling Tianhu's voice was cold, his killing intent undisguised. "Could it be that the deaths of my Dalu sword sect disciples mean nothing? Of the 12 swords, only Chen Long survived. The rest were all slain by Wang Lin. I will not bully the weak. If Wang Lin can withstand 3 strands of my sword energy, then this matter ends here. But if you dare interfere, All-Seer, I will not hesitate to go to war with you." Though he addressed the All-Seer, his gaze never left Wang Lin. Wang Lin turned slightly and looked at the old man, whose body resembled a mountain of flesh. His tone was even. "This senior claims I am unworthy of the token. May I ask, how long could you endure Sword Saint Ling Tianhou's sword energy?" The old man's expression grew increasingly grim. He snorted coldly and said nothing, but a flicker of killing intent flashed within his eyes. Wang Lin smiled faintly. His gaze shifted to Ling Tianhou. "Please enlighten me, Sword Saint." Ling Tianhu raised his right hand. One of the 4 origin swords behind him flew forward. The blade flickered between light and shadow. In the next instant, a strand of sword energy shot out. It resembled a rainbow. Given Ling Tianhu's cultivation, even the strands of sword energy he had once left for his disciples in the demon spirit land were already terrifying. This one, born directly from the source, was beyond comparison. It transformed into a dragon, roaring as it rushed toward Wang Lin. The sky crackled, as though it could not endure the pressure. The surrounding disciples of the Dalu sword sect were stirred with excitement. As the sword energy closed in, about to tear him apart, Wang Lin's eyes brightened. His right hand clenched into a fist. He struck forward. A thunderous explosion echoed. The space before his fist showed signs of collapse. His fist collided directly with the incoming sword energy. The heavens rumbled. Wang Lin stepped back twice. Then he raised his head and looked calmly at Ling Tianhu. First strand. The sword energy shattered, spreading like a storm. The All-Seer waved his sleeve, dispersing the aftermath completely. A faint smile appeared on his face as he looked at Wang Lin. A cold glint flashed in Ling Tianhu's eyes. Without hesitation, he waved again. The origin sword emitted a piercing hum that seemed to split the heavens. Then it shot forward in its true form, aiming straight for Wang Lin. As it approached, Wang Lin laughed. His right hand formed a fist once more. A surge of power erupted from between his brows, gathering into his hand. Points of light appeared around his fist as he stepped forward and struck. At the same time, a cold light flickered in his eyes. Since returning to planet Tian Yun, he had no intention of remaining hidden. In this world, only strength spoke. If he wished to re-enter the demon spirit land to claim the right to hold the token, and to gain recognition from the old monsters of Tian Yun, then everything depended on this battle. Wang Lin had already calculated all of this. As his punch fell, his left hand swept his storage bag. He shouted 3 sets of 9 swords. In an instant, streams of silver light burst forth like a storm. Each ray carried a harsh gleam. Within them, countless soul fragments emerged, releasing mournful cries that filled the heavens. 27 flying swords appeared. With a single point of Wang Lin's finger, all 27 swords shot toward Ling Tianhu, their accompanying souls wailing. Even the All-Seer was startled. He had foreseen Wang Lin's return beneath the sky of green and purple light. He knew his cultivation would rise greatly. Yet he had never seen the exact process, nor had he expected this. Between Wang Lin's brows lay several powers. 3 of them were enough to make even the All-Seer wary. I foresaw his return, but not the reason the All-Seer thought. If he dared return, he must possess something to rely upon. The vermilion birthmark is one of them. The beautiful middle-aged woman was equally shocked. Her eyes revealed astonishment as she examined the 27 swords. As a refiner, I can see it clearly, she thought. Each of these swords is forged from extraordinary materials. Each carries immense killing intent tempered over countless years in a place of slaughter. Any one of them is a peerless weapon. And now they form a sword array. She inhaled sharply. The old man atop the gourd stood abruptly. His heart surged with waves of shock. He is definitely not at the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. The mountain-like old man trembled inwardly. Sweat formed on his brow. I underestimated him. Ling Tianhu's eyes shone with interest. As a sword saint, his understanding of swords was profound. Such swords, such an array, he said slowly. Wang Lin, you are worthy of fighting me. He waved his hands. The remaining 3 origin swords flew out. The 4 swords rotated, releasing countless strands of sword energy that wove together into a vast net. Under Wang Lin's control, the 27 flying swords surged forward alongside his punch. They fused into a storm centered upon the blades themselves, infused with sword intent. They collided directly with the 4 rotating origin swords. Rumble after rumble echoed. One by one, the 27 swords were forced back. Yet their bombardment drove Ling Tianhu's origin swords into retreat. Each sword that was repelled returned to Wang Lin. Soon all 27 circled him. At that moment, the full power of Wang Lin's ancient god punch erupted. Under that force, all 4 origin swords were pushed back. The sight shocked all who witnessed it. Yet Wang Lin understood Ling Tianhu had not used any spells. This was not mercy. It was simply that Wang Lin even now was not yet worthy of forcing him to use them. Ling Tianhu's eyes flickered with a strange light. Then he laughed. He had already forgotten his earlier promise of 3 attacks. His hands formed seals. His hair moved without wind. His eyes shone as he shouted, "You are worthy for me to use spells. I know only 3 sacrifice whole break. Sacrifice sword first phase cast with blood." The surrounding cultivators were shaken. Ling Tianhu's reputation was legendary. His spells could shake the heavens. He had only one true rival, the All-Seer, and he rarely used his spells except against him. Yet now he used one against Wang Lin. Even if Wang Lin lost, his name would spread across the world. Ling Tianhu pointed forward. The 4 origin swords merged into one. The blade became ethereal, radiating intense heat. It twisted as if melting, becoming fluid beneath the sun's brilliance. Then it shot toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression did not change. He stepped back, struck his storage bag, and shouted, 5 sets of 9 swords formation. More silver light erupted. 45 swords now spun together, forming a vast vortex. Wang Lin's hair flowed wildly as his hand closed. He pointed forward without hesitation. Heavenly Chop. His origin energy surged to its peak. Countless heavenly chop energies merged into the vortex. It trembled, condensed, and shot forward. These 45 swords had all been refined from the slaughter realm. Their forms had been altered. Only those from that realm could recognize them. The vortex collided with Ling Tianhu's spell. At that instant, the world seemed to invert. A deafening roar spread across heaven and earth. Collapse replaced all sound. If not for the All-Seer shielding the aftermath, much of planet Tian Yun might have been destroyed. When it ended, Wang Lin was forced back. His 45 swords remained intact, though dim, circling him. Opposite him, Ling Tianhu's sword shattered, splitting back into 4 origin swords. He himself had not retreated. His eyes gleamed. He laughed. "Wang Lin, the grudge between you and the Dalu sword sect is settled. I will not take your token. Since you obtained it, you have the right to enter the celestial cave." He turned and stepped away. The disciples of the Dalu sword sect followed in confusion, their sword energies streaking into the distance. Ling Tianhu's actions. Wang Lin murmured, watching him leave. They carry deeper meaning. Silence fell. All around, shock filled every gaze. Who would have thought? Bai Wei's eyes burned with excitement. He can fight Ling Tianhu. Zhao Xianxia's face was pale. Fear filled his eyes. He no longer dared harbor any ill intent. The 4th sister, who had remained withdrawn, now lifted her gaze. The confusion in her eyes vanished, replaced by something enigmatic. "If he can help me," she thought, biting her lip. Those who once knew Wang Lin were all stunned. The figure of his past slowly merged with the white-robed man before them. Wang Lin did not retract his swords. His gaze swept forward, settling once more on the mountain-like old man. "Senior," he said calmly, "am I qualified?" The old man hesitated. Then he snorted coldly. "Fellow Taoist All-Seer, I have pills to refine. I will not disturb you further." He barked at his disciples' return. They hurriedly carried him away. The old man atop the gourd looked deeply at Wang Lin. He laughed. "Fellow Taoist Wang hides himself well. I am Strange Dream Tan. If you have time, visit Planet Dream." He clasped his hands and departed. The skinny old man left with him expression unchanged from beginning to end. The beautiful middle-aged woman was the last to leave. She smiled. "Your swords carry heavy killing intent. Too much is difficult to control. If you have time, come to Planet Xianxia." She bowed to the All-Seer and departed with her disciples. The woman in pink smiled at Wang Lin. "My master excels in refining. The cost will not be high." "You little girl," the woman laughed softly. Only a few noticed the gaze of the woman in green, different, distant. "He has likely forgotten my name," she thought. To him it was nothing. But to me, he saved my life. Senior sister, Qian, what's wrong? The woman in pink asked. Qian shook her head silent. Under the All-Seer's command, the Heavenly Fate sect dispersed. Soon only Wang Lin and the All-Seer remained. Master and disciple stood facing one another once more after centuries. After a long silence, the All-Seer asked, "What do you intend to do?" "This disciple wishes to enter the demon spirit land," Wang Lin replied respectfully. The All-Seer stood with hands behind his back. "You are qualified. Whether as the All-Heavens Thunder Celestial or as part of the Vermilion Bird series of the 4 divine sects. In this generation, there are only 3 of you." Wang Lin fell silent. He knew little of the Vermilion Bird series. Though stirred within his expression revealed nothing. "It will take some preparation to open the demon spirit land this time. This matter is of great importance. I must also invite several old friends before we can enter that cave. During this period, you may remain here at ease." The All-Seer's expression was calm, neither joy nor anger visible as he spoke. When he finished, clouds gathered beneath his feet, and he departed upon them. "The purple wood pavilion has been preserved for you." His voice drifted from afar. Wang Lin gazed toward the place where the All-Seer had vanished, lost in thought. Ling Tianhu's actions carried a deeper intent. Even in the final spell he cast, he did not use his full strength. Though Wang Lin could not fully grasp Ling Tianhu's thoughts, he could discern a vague outline. As for the All-Seer, I cannot see through him. When it came to the All-Seer, Wang Lin had always been uncertain. Even when he thought he caught a trace of understanding in the blink of an eye, another interpretation would arise, shrouding everything in deeper mystery. "I cannot see through him." Wang Lin sighed softly. A veil of mist seemed to surround the All-Seer. Each time he saw him, it felt as though he had become a slightly different person. In truth, Wang Lin had already anticipated that the All-Seer would make such preparations for his arrival. Yet now that he faced it directly, even though everything had unfolded as expected, something felt off. Everything had gone too smoothly. It was as though events had followed Wang Lin's plan perfectly. Frowning slightly, Wang Lin looked around the familiar Heavenly Fate sect. After a moment of contemplation, he walked toward the purple wood pavilion. There was only a single path leading there, flanked by stone towers and dense greenery. It was sunset. The wind carried a faint chill, accompanied by the rustling of leaves. From afar, the faint sound of flowing water could be heard. Wang Lin had walked this road before. Now, after hundreds of years stepping upon it once more, a sense of regret stirred within him. "It is as though nothing has changed," he murmured, walking forward at an unhurried pace. As he advanced, a man and a woman in blue robes approached while conversing. Their cultivation levels were modest, only at the soul transformation stage. Carried by the wind, their voices drifted over. "Junior sister, I heard that in 7 days the Ghost Eye Market will open again. Several cultivators have already rushed there." The Ghost Eye Market, the one that auctioned a celestial spell and became famous overnight. The woman's voice was filled with surprise. "That's the one. That celestial spell caused a great uproar. It said that even powerful old monsters personally went there. A celestial spell. With our status, we can only access incomplete low-grade ones. But that spell was rumored to be a rare, complete technique. This time they say a mysterious item will also be auctioned. What does that have to do with us? The prices there are unimaginable, and entry requires an invitation. It doesn't matter. Even if we cannot enter the auction hall, we can still access the tree trading area." As the man spoke, he took out a piece of jade. It was entirely black except for a single eye engraved at its center. That eye emitted a faint red glow, eerie and strange. "Ghost Eye Invitation Jade." The woman's eyes brightened. The man straightened slightly, pride evident. Just as he was about to speak further, he looked ahead and froze. Wang Lin was walking down from the mountain. Noticing her senior brother's reaction, the woman raised her head and saw Wang Lin as well. With their cultivation, they could not sense Wang Lin's presence at all. Wang Lin's expression was gentle. As he approached, he smiled faintly at the man in blue. Senior brother Li, do not be a stranger. You... The man in blue stood there like a stunned chicken. He had only recently returned to the sect and did not know of Wang Lin's return. Earlier, he had merely felt that Wang Lin seemed familiar. But now hearing his words, shock overwhelmed him. Wang Lin. He staggered back several steps, his eyes filled with horror. Wang Lin smiled. He did not know this man's full name, only that his surname was Li. They had met briefly once before. Back then, this man had looked at him with mockery and disdain. Now his cultivation had advanced from early-stage soul transformation to mid-stage. Without another glance, Wang Lin passed them and gradually walked away. Senior brother, his name is Wang Lin. That sounds familiar, the woman said, puzzled, watching his retreating figure. Wang Lin has returned. If I encountered him here, Master must already know. Could it be? He has obtained Master's forgiveness. Just now, I felt no spiritual energy from him at all, like a mortal. But the moment he passed by, all the spiritual energy in my body trembled, nearly collapsing. The man's face turned pale. He grabbed his junior sister and hurried away. Senior brother, what is wrong with you? She asked, confused. He is Wang Lin, the seventh disciple of the Purple Division of the Heavenly Fate sect. Junior sister, do you still not remember? The woman froze. Her expression changed drastically. Is he, the one rumored to have slaughtered countless cultivators in the demon spirit land, creating a river of blood? The one hunted by Master and 7 senior brothers, yet still escaped? The devil Wang Lin. In the distance, Wang Lin revealed a bitter smile. Rumors were a frightening thing. Over the centuries, the stories about him had twisted beyond recognition. With a soft sigh, he walked along a narrow path and left the Heavenly Fate sect. Before him stood a towering mountain piercing the heavens. Its peak was shrouded in mist, within which faint purple light flickered. This was the residence of the Purple Division. Heavenly Fate sect. Mount Purple. Gazing at the familiar peak, Wang Lin fell into a trance. It was as if he had returned to the past, seeing a young man climbing step by step, gradually securing his place here. The mountain wind swept past, cold and piercing. Though not freezing, it stripped away warmth, leaving only chill. Plants swayed across the mountainside. It was unclear whether it was the mountain that moved or his heart. Wang Lin ascended as if walking toward the heavens. His pace slowed. Along the way, he encountered no cultivators, only the wind, which sounded like distant sobbing. Aside from the wind, there was silence. The mountain remained unchanged. In one corner stood a delicate pavilion. From afar, a plaque could be seen bearing a single word: purple. As Wang Lin advanced, the pavilion became obscured again. Only after passing an obstruction did it reappear. Purple Wood Pavilion. Who still remembers that this place was once called the Purple Cloud Pavilion? Wang Lin stood silently for a long time before pushing open the door. A musty scent rushed out. The furnishings were unchanged. Table, chairs, bed, everything remained as before, except now all were covered in thick dust. The oil lamp on the table had long since run dry. Wang Lin raised his hand and lightly brushed the table, leaving a deep mark through the dust. He looked at the layer of dust, then waved his sleeve. A gentle wind arose. It swept across the table, the chairs, the bed, moving upstairs and downstairs alike. It was as though a storm had passed through the pavilion. Yet strangely, the storm only removed dust. Nothing else shifted. Even the purple windows made no sound. After several breaths, Wang Lin raised his hand and clenched his fist. In that instant, the storm reversed, gathering from all directions into his palm. Within moments, it vanished completely. A dark grey vortex appeared in his hand, the dust of centuries. With a casual wave, all the windows opened. The grey vortex drifted out as though the weight of time and memory had been cast away. The room became as new. Night fell. Darkness filled the pavilion, rendering Wang Lin's figure indistinct. He sighed softly and walked to a purple cabinet. He remembered that lamp oil had once been stored there. Opening it, he found a small bottle of brown oil. After refilling the lamp, he lit it. A faint sound accompanied the flame as it sprang to life, dispelling the darkness. But at that very moment, a gust of mountain wind blew in. The newly lit flame flickered violently. Wang Lin's shadow twisted and warped. His expression changed. He stared intently at the wavering flame. A thought flashed through his mind, and his eyes shone brightly. The wind moves and the flame changes. Its form becomes unpredictable, impossible to define its original shape. I understand. The All-Seer is like this flame. The reason he feels different each time is because he is constantly changing. As if one person contains countless avatars, all shifting within a single body, alternating at every moment. That is why he feels so unfathomable. Wang Lin gazed at the flickering flame. Light and shadow alternated across his face, but within his eyes there was clarity, enlightenment. The flame swayed with the wind just as the wind stirred the plants. It created the illusion that the mountain itself was shifting. Yet in truth, the mountain has not moved. The flame has not moved. What moves is the wind. Wang Lin raised his right hand. All the windows snapped shut at once. The wind from outside was cut off completely. Without the wind, the flame lost its violent flicker. It quieted, though it still trembled faintly as the oil burned. Wang Lin frowned and stared at the flame. In its light, his face alternated between brightness and shadow, a trace of gloom lingering within. Something is wrong. The wind has already ceased, yet the flame still moves. At this moment, though, Wang Lin did not realize it. His state resembled Tao confirmation. Only what he sought to confirm was not his own Tao, but that of the All-Seer. He had known the All-Seer for hundreds of years. In the past, his cultivation had been too low to perceive the changes within that man. But now he could vaguely discern faint clues. The All-Seer was shrouded in too many secrets. What unsettled Wang Lin the most was that he could not grasp even a fragment of the other's thoughts. The All-Seer is like this flame, ever shifting, never fixed. Even if I isolate the wind, I still cannot uncover his true form. Wang Lin's gaze remained locked on the fire. Time passed in silence. Unknowingly, it was already the third watch of the night. The sky outside was pitch black. Wind brushed against the window, making the paper rustle softly. In the stillness of the night, that sound was unusually clear. The wind moves. The mountain moves. The flame moves. Wang Lin lifted his head and stepped forward. His figure vanished from the room and appeared high in the night sky. Below him stood Mount Purple of the Heavenly Fate sect. The wind was fierce that night. Clouds blanketed the heavens. Moonlight struggled to pierce through, leaving the world dim and obscure. As he pondered, Wang Lin raised his right hand and waved lightly. A trace of law born from his comprehension of summoned the rain emerged. The wind surged through the cloud-covered sky. The rain-laden clouds dispersed in an instant, and pure moonlight poured down unobstructed. Under that moonlight, the shadow of Mount Purple stretched across the earth. The wind swept by, causing the plants on the mountain to sway and rustle. Yet the vast shadow beneath the mountain barely changed. This mountain does not move. Wang Lin's eyes shone. Something within his mind ignited. Enlightenment flickered in his gaze, as if he had seized a thread of truth. The wind only disturbs the surface. The mountain seems to move. But in truth, it is my heart that moves. My heart moves, and so the mountain moves. Clarity filled his eyes. In the next instant, he returned to the room. He looked once more at the flame. His breathing gradually slowed until it became so faint it seemed non-existent. If an ordinary person stood nearby, they would notice nothing unusual. The flame still flickered softly, crackling faintly. But in Wang Lin's perception, the flame had transformed. It surged like a raging sea, shifting in countless ways. Then slowly, it stilled as though frozen by a stop spell. At that instant, Wang Lin's mind trembled violently. Disbelief surged within him. What he saw defied all reason. Origin energy flowed uncontrollably through his body. Popping sounds echoed within him as though something was breaking open. It was like a mortal martial artist forcefully opening every meridian at once. The origin energy circulated wildly faster and faster. Wang Lin's third eye opened silently, a slit forming between his brows. No red light emerged. Instead, it seemed to absorb something driving the origin energy to even greater speeds. The speed had already surpassed comprehension. Yet Wang Lin felt no pain. He only stared at the flame, stunned, his conviction reaching its peak. What he saw was no longer a simple candle flame. It was a faint, weak fire, the very flame he himself had once created. If that were all, it would not have shaken him so deeply. But though the flame appeared still, it was still in motion. Its motion was reversed. It was as though an unseen force surrounded it, causing it to dissipate rapidly in a manner Wang Lin could not comprehend. Or perhaps it was not dissipating. Rather, it was expanding, growing larger and larger. As it expanded endlessly, Wang Lin finally glimpsed the secret hidden within the flame. Tiny elements, countless minute elements moved past one another, colliding in precise patterns. Each collision released a trace of heat. At first glance, it seemed chaotic. But in Wang Lin's eyes, there was order within the chaos. Every movement, every collision followed a law. This is law. The law of fire. Wang Lin did not blink. His gaze remained fixed as he murmured softly, "Can it go deeper?" The moment this thought arose, the countless elements expanded violently, just like the flame before them. In an instant, they grew enormously large. As they magnified, faint illusory lines appeared around them. But at that very moment, the origin energy within his body roared. A sharp pain pierced between his brows, and he awoke abruptly. Cold sweat poured from his forehead. His clothes were soaked through. His face was pale as paper. He took a deep breath and stared at the candle. What was that? Could it have been source origin? I could grasp that law. But I only glimpsed the source origin for an instant. My body could not endure it. He fell silent for a moment. Then he closed his eyes and began to cultivate. Time drifted by. The darkness outside faded, replaced by the first light of dawn. When morning arrived, Wang Lin opened his eyes. A sharp gaze capable of piercing through anything fell upon the door. "Seventh brother, may I come in?" A soft voice sounded from outside the pavilion. Wang Lin spoke calmly. "Fourth sister, please come in." Outside the pavilion, the breathing was heavy. A long while passed before the door was slowly pushed open. A woman in purple stepped inside, her lower lip caught between her teeth. Her appearance was not as breathtaking as Li Mei's, yet she was still beautiful. Only faint traces of time lingered upon her face, giving her an air of quiet weariness. After entering, she said nothing. She sat down in a chair, her gaze unfocused, fixed on the empty space before her, never once looking at Wang Lin. Silence filled the room. Wang Lin closed his eyes and continued cultivating. Soon, however, he sensed a faint strand of divine sense extending from between the woman's brows. It spread slowly, hesitantly, as though uncertain whether to advance or retreat. When it neared him, Wang Lin's eyes snapped open. A flash of light burst forth. The divine sense trembled and attempted to withdraw, but in that instant it froze in place, unable to move. The woman in purple turned deathly pale. She knew if her divine sense moved even slightly, Wang Lin would devour it without hesitation. Wang Lin looked at her, then loosened his hold. The divine sense returned to her body. Before him she had no secrets. 6 seals lay within her body, suppressing her cultivation. What she revealed outwardly was merely late-stage soul transformation. In the past, Wang Lin would not have been able to see through such concealment. Now a single glance was enough to strip everything bare. He frowned slightly. "What does fourth sister want?" The woman parted her lips as if to speak, yet no words came. "If fourth sister has nothing to say, then I won't see you out." With a flick of his sleeve, a gentle wind arose. Her body trembled as she was pushed toward the door. Just as she reached it, her eyes hardened with resolve. "Wang Lin, now that you have stepped into the second step, are you not afraid of the calamity within the heavenly fate?" Section. Wang Lin's gaze sharpened. His right hand extended, pulling her back instantly. "What does senior sister mean?" She clenched her teeth, looking up at him. "If you hadn't fled back then, you would likely have disappeared without a trace over these past few hundred years." Her voice trembled, yet she continued. "You must have noticed. Among the Heavenly Fate sect, thousands of inner and outer disciples, even us direct disciples, not a single person has reached the illusory yin stage. Wang Lin remained silent. His expression did not change. When someone breaks through late ascendant and enters illusory yin, within a year they vanish, without a trace. This is a taboo within the sect. Back then your cultivation was too low to know. Even now perhaps you still do not. Still Wang Lin said nothing. The woman in purple stared at him. Seeing no reaction, her heart sank. She bit down harder. You may not believe me, but I, Zhao Xinmeng, entered the sect at 7 years old. I have cultivated for 1,000 years. Before she could continue, Wang Lin shook his head. Aren't you afraid Master will discover you speaking of this here? Every day at the hour of dawn, Master enters closed-door cultivation. Unless something major occurs, he will not emerge. This has been his habit for thousands of years. Her tone grew urgent. Wang Lin, everything I say is true. Wang Lin pondered briefly, then looked at her. This is why you have 6 seals within your body. Zhao Xinmeng was not surprised. Only bitterness appeared on her face. What else could I do? A fragment of my soul is in Master's hands. I cannot leave. Even if I did, a single thought from him would erase me completely. There are many like me, those who seal their cultivation. Among them, Sun Hong of the Red Division is the strongest. She has 11 seals, forcing herself to remain at mid-stage ascendant. She even suppresses her own comprehension, so it does not match her true level. If her seals were undone, she would immediately reach early Nirvana Scrya. Then there is Lu Hai, also of the Red Division. If he released his seal, he would reach peak corporeal yang at once. These are only those I know. There must be others hidden across the 7 divisions. Yet no matter how far our cultivation advances, none of us dare to release the seals. Even if we reseal afterward, within a year we still vanish. If our cultivation drops due to injury, those who never concealed themselves are fine. But those of us who hid our strength still disappear. Her voice grew faint. From what I understand, Master has cultivated for tens of thousands of years. He has had countless disciples, yet none have ever appeared again, nor even been heard of. Wang Lin's expression remained neutral. The 6 seals within her body were indeed peculiar. Without such close proximity, they would be difficult to detect. Yet before the All-Seer, such concealment was meaningless. Master never stopped us from sealing ourselves. He simply ignores it. Fear surfaced in Zhao Xinmeng's eyes. No matter how we hide, he acts as though he knows nothing. Yet if the seals are broken, we are doomed. 500 years ago, a disciple of the Orange Division reached the limit of his seals. They were forcibly broken, and he vanished the next day. Her voice trembled more violently now. There is no escape. Even concealment has limits. I cannot continue living like this. In the past 100 years, my seals have begun to loosen. I am losing control. Recently, it has worsened. Her composure collapsed. Save me. Wang Lin, save me. I will do anything you want if you save me. Tears streamed down her face. Her voice turned hoarse. Do you know? Though you only returned yesterday, you have already drawn the attention of everyone hiding their cultivation. They are all waiting to see when you will disappear. She bit her lip hard. This matter, this truth, could not be spoken to anyone. It was an absolute taboo within the Heavenly Fate sect. Despair had already consumed her. With each passing day, her seals weakened. Soon they would collapse entirely. The thought of her true cultivation being revealed filled her with terror. There are rumors that any cultivator who surpasses Ascendant is devoured by Master. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Wang Lin, I do not ask you to retrieve my soul. Only help me reinforce my seals. Let my cultivation remain forever at late soul transformation. She stood about to bow deeply. Wang Lin raised his hand. A gentle force lifted her, preventing the bow. He fell into thought, but suddenly his gaze shifted outside the pavilion. Zhao Xinmeng froze. A moment later, she too sensed it. After a brief hesitation, her cheeks flushed faintly. Without a word, she moved swiftly to Wang Lin's side. Removing her shoes, she stepped onto his bed and formed a seal concealing herself. Wang Lin frowned. Light footsteps approached from outside. Seventh junior brother. Bai Wei requests an audience. A soft feminine voice drifted in. Wang Lin held no ill will toward Bai Wei. Back then it was Bai Wei's subtle reminder that allowed him to better understand the All-Seer. "Senior brother Bai, please come in." His voice was calm, though a faint fragrance lingered in the air, making him slightly uncomfortable. The door opened. Bai Wei entered still as beautiful as before, though now somewhat frail. He looked at Wang Lin and sighed softly. "Just as before. Seventh brother, you have not changed at all. Brother Bai is the same. Though centuries have passed, it feels as if we only parted yesterday." Wang Lin smiled. Bai Wei's eyes were like clear water. "Seventh brother uses the wrong title. I am no longer senior brother Bai, but junior sister Bai." Wang Lin was taken aback. A wry smile appeared. Seeing his reaction, Bai Wei smiled. Her gaze shimmered radiant and captivating. "Is it so difficult to call me junior sister Bai? I have always been a woman." Even with Wang Lin's 1,000 years of experience, he found himself at a loss. He coughed dryly. "I wonder what matter senior brother Bai came for." Bai Wei raised an eyebrow, her gaze deep as water. Even with Wang Lin's early Nirvana scryer cultivation and ancient god body, he nearly faltered under that look. He smiled bitterly. "Bai, junior sister Bai, what brings you here?" Her expression softened. "Wang Lin, you should not have returned. This is not a place to speak. Are you free? On planet Tian Yun there is a market called Ghost Eye. If you can come, I have something to tell you on the way." Wang Lin pondered. He had been gone for many years. Hearing what had transpired during that time would be useful. Moreover, his relationship with Bai Wei was not shallow. There was no reason to refuse. He examined her. There were no seals. Her cultivation was genuinely mid-stage soul transformation. "Very well. We will meet below Mount Purple at noon." Bai Wei smiled at Wang Lin expectation, filling his phoenix eyes. Then he turned and left. Wang Lin gave a wry smile. A faint headache stirred within him whenever he faced this Bai Wei. At that moment, a ripple came from his storage bag, and Shu Liguo's voice echoed in his mind. "Top quality. Truly top quality. Master, this is rare beyond compare. Shu Liguo have seen countless people, yet never one so graceful. Especially that look when he left, it nearly melted Grandpa Shu's bones. Master, if you don't want him, then I do." The moment I saw him, I thought of Meiji. Wang Lin ignored the rambling and cut off Shu Liguo's voice entirely. A soft chuckle sounded nearby. Zhao Xinmeng appeared her gaze toward Wang Lin, carrying a subtle change. Wang Lin frowned slightly. He rose, sat down again, and said calmly, "Fourth senior sister, I will consider your matter." Zhao Xinmeng looked at him. After a moment of hesitation, she spoke softly. "Though my cultivation is not high, I have preserved my virginity for 1,000 years. If you can strengthen my seal, I can offer you my 1,000-year origin yin." Her face flushed red. She lifted her sleeve, revealing a small crimson mark. Then she lowered it again, bit her lower lip, and turned to leave. "This is my last hope. If he can fight Ling Tianho, then his cultivation cannot be merely at Nirvana Scryer. He must be at Nirvana Cleanser. If he helps me, he will surely suppress the seal completely." Zhao Xinmeng sighed softly. Her figure faded into the distant horizon. "If I seek help from others, with Master present, I fear no one would dare assist me." Wang Lin sat silently within the room, deep in thought. Helping Zhao Xinmeng would be easy, yet doing so would displease the All-Seer. If her words are true, then Master's indifference must hold deeper meaning. Perhaps even he is conflicted. As his thoughts drifted, the celestial sword that held Shu Liguo began to stir. Fluctuations from the storage bag disrupted his focus. Wang Lin frowned and slapped the bag. The celestial sword shot out, instantly releasing a surge of black mist. The mist gathered, condensing into Shu Liguo's form. Shu Liguo's eyes gleamed. The moment he appeared, he inhaled deeply at the spot where Bai Wei had stood. His expression turned intoxicated, top quality, truly top quality. Compared to him, even that girl from the demon spirit land is nothing. If I could. A sinister smile crept across his face. Wang Lin looked at him coldly. Xu Liguo trembled. A chill spread through his entire being, piercing even his soul. His mind cleared instantly, and he began to curse inwardly. Damn it! Why has this fiend grown stronger again? Where is the justice? Before I feared him, yes, but not like this. Now a single glance feels enough to erase me completely. His expression shifted rapidly before settling into a flattering smile. Master is truly mighty. Your cultivation has advanced yet again. Such heavenly talent. Before he could finish, Wang Lin interrupted his voice, calm but cold. Why were you so eager to come out? In Wang Lin's eyes, Xu Liguo needed to be suppressed from time to time. Otherwise, he would grow unruly. This devil had been refined by his own hand. No one understood him better. Before becoming a devil, Xu Liguo had harbored deep resentment. After refinement, his nature only intensified. Wang Lin knew well if Xu Liguo ever returned to his true form, the only way to control him was to remain stronger. Back in the Nether Beast, the old man believed Xu Liguo to be loyal. In truth, there was no loyalty at all. At most, it was habit formed after nearly 1,000 years under Wang Lin's control. Rebellious thoughts would occasionally rise within Xu Liguo's heart. Wang Lin understood this clearly. Not good. This fiend is going to punish me. Xu Liguo's heart tightened. He licked his lips and forced a grin. Master, I only came out to congratulate you on your breakthrough. Ever since I wisely chose to follow Master, your cultivation rises each time I appear. So I thought, if I come out more often, perhaps Master will grow even stronger. Haha. As he spoke, he watched Wang Lin carefully, ready to change his tone at any moment. Wang Lin frowned slightly, then revealed a faint smile. Since you are so thoughtful, then do not return to the sword for now. Stay by my side and properly comprehend the sword intent you inherited. Xu Liguo immediately thumped his chest. Master, rest assured. Little Xu will not disappoint you. I will cultivate diligently. Yet inwardly he sneered. Ha, still your grandpa Xu is clever. A few sweet words and even this fiend softens. No matter how strong you are, you cannot match my cunning. Wang Lin ignored him. He closed his eyes and entered cultivation. Xu Liguo drifted about the room like a wandering ghost. Soon boredom crept in, and his thoughts returned to Bai Wei's beauty. He glanced cautiously at Wang Lin, then sniffed the air again, his face turning intoxicated. Beauty. A true beauty. If he were a woman, it would be ordinary. But as a man, his mind trembled. Desire stirred restlessly within him. He longed to seek Bai Wei immediately and speak heart to heart. But Wang Lin remained nearby. Xu Liguo could only sigh. When I followed the giant demon clan ancestor, life was good. He even gave me Meiji. Those days were vibrant. Now trapped by this fiend sealed in a bag all day, that life feels so distant. A trace of resentment rose within him. When I become strong enough, I will repay this fiend, even if I must fight to the death. Just then, Wang Lin's eyelids twitched slightly. Xu Liguo froze immediately, forcing a flattering smile. After waiting for a while, Wang Lin did not open his eyes. Xu Liguo cursed inwardly. He truly does not know how to enjoy life. If it were me, I would have already acted, especially with such beauty. He sighed again. Knowing his strength was insufficient, he finally sat down and began to comprehend the ancient sword intent. Grandpa Yu must work harder, otherwise the gap will only widen. Then I will never escape this fiend, never leave this abyss. After Xu Liguo entered cultivation, Wang Lin slowly opened his eyes. A bright glint flashed within them before he closed them again. Yet in his heart, he had already decided to refine this devil once more. Time passed swiftly. In the blink of an eye, noon arrived. The sunlight outside the pavilion shone brilliantly, as if dispersing all darkness. The sky was clear and vast, calming the heart. Wang Lin opened his eyes and rose. The door opened on its own. He stepped out. Xu Liguo immediately followed his gaze, darting around excitement barely suppressed. I'm about to see that beauty. Wang Lin stepped into the air and descended Mount Purple. In the distance, figures moved among the 7 mountains, revealing the grandeur of a great sect. Chanting echoed faintly, low-level disciples practicing their spells. Spiritual energy filled the heavenly fate sect. Yet at noon it carried yang fire and was unsuitable for cultivation. It lacked the dense fluctuations seen at dawn and dusk. The purple division held the lowest status among the 7. Even its direct disciples were incomplete, only 5, including Wang Lin. Thus few ordinary disciples resided here. The vast mountain felt desolate and empty. No one appeared as Wang Lin descended. Xu Liguo followed behind, sunlight falling upon him without discomfort. Instead, it felt pleasant, especially with anticipation burning in his heart. Looking at Wang Lin's shadow, Xu Liguo mused inwardly. This fiend, he has lived so long, yet knows no pleasure. Still, even I must admire his growth. From a mere core formation cultivator to this. He quickly suppressed the thought. No, I cannot become like him. What joy is there in such a life? His cultivation is forged through slaughter and danger. That path is not for me, holding beauty that is comfort. If I followed his way, I would perish sooner or later. Who knows when this fiend will meet his end? No, if he dies, I will not fare well either. My consciousness may be erased, reduced to a mere sword spirit. As his thoughts wandered, Wang Lin reached the foot of the mountain. A pavilion stood there. Within it, a figure in purple waited. From afar, the figure exuded grace, yet also a faint fragility. A gentle breeze lifted the figure's hair. A jade-like hand brushed it aside. Then he turned and smiled at Wang Lin. If one did not know the truth, he would surpass most women in beauty. Bai Wei's eyes lit up. He smiled. Senior brother Wang has indeed kept his promise. Wang Lin remained calm. Behind him, Xu Liguo stared at Bai Wei, barely restraining himself. If not for Wang Lin's presence, he would have already lunged forward. What is this? Bai Wei glanced at Xu Liguo. Black mist swirled around Xu Liguo, then condensed, revealing his former cultivator appearance. His eyes shone with a wicked light, though his expression was solemn. Just as he prepared to speak, a cold snort sounded. Xu Liguo immediately trembled and switched to a flattering smile. The abrupt change startled Bai Wei. "This is my treasure spirit," Wang Lin said calmly. "Brother Bai, where is the market you mentioned? Please lead the way." Xu Liguo's heart burned with desire, yet he dared not act. He could only glare inwardly. This damn Wang Lin, he won't take him himself, yet won't let Grandpa Zhu take him either. No justice, none at all. Bai Wei's brows furrowed slightly. Senior brother Wang. Wang Lin suddenly felt a rare trace of embarrassment. Bai Wei had caused this twice now. Xu Liguo's eyes shone. Heaven favors me to meet such love. Black smoke surged from his body as he transformed into a massive mouth lunging toward Bai Wei. At that instant, Wang Lin's gaze turned icy. His hand shot forward, piercing through the mist, grabbing Xu Liguo's soul directly. Xu Liguo spun, revealing a fierce expression, then instantly shifted again. Master, master, I was wrong. I was wrong. Wang Lin held him firmly and said, Junior sister Bai, please lead the way. Bai Wei observed this with interest. That gaze alone made Xu Liguo's heart tremble with excitement. Bai Wei smiled faintly. He tapped his storage bag. A flying sword appeared beneath his feet. He stepped onto it and flew into the distance. Wang Lin followed calmly, stepping through the air. Previously, Bai Wei's femininity was subtle. Now it has become extreme. His body is filled with yin aura. Even his temperament has changed. As he moved forward, Wang Lin sensed someone following secretly. Without turning, he already knew. Zhao Xinmeng. Because of the yin energy within Bai Wei's body, not only has his temperament shifted, even his mannerisms have grown distinctly feminine. If he had been born this way, it would not seem strange. But it was clearly not so in the past. As they flew onward, a faint glow flickered around Wang Lin. His gaze rested on Bai Wei. From beginning to end, he felt something was off. Yet no matter how he examined it, he could not pinpoint the source. Still, 1,000 years of cultivation had sharpened his instincts. Though he could not rival the All-Seer's omniscience, he could vaguely sense threads of events not yet unfolded. Bai Wei appeared unaware of Wang Lin's divine sense brushing past him. He continued smiling, speaking as if nothing were amiss. "You were not here long before. In a few months, the weather on planet Tian Yun will shift. The sudden alternation between gloom and sunlight is considered a unique sight here. Over these past centuries, the heavenly fate sect has remained peaceful. Little has happened. Though there was one curious event. Someone planted a white tree in the back mountain, claiming it would never bloom. Yet it did bloom. Only the flowers were not white but black. They lasted merely 3 breaths before turning to dust. It startled quite a few people. I was there as well. I even thought, had I been quicker, I might have preserved one blossom. There is nothing suspicious." Wang Lin frowned slightly. That faint unease lingered stubbornly in his heart. His expression, however, remained calm as he responded to Bai Wei's words. "After you left, Master spent most of his time in seclusion. He rarely appeared." Bai Wei continued smiling as he recounted every trivial matter that had occurred within the Heavenly Fate sect. At first, Wang Lin listened attentively, but before long his brows knit together. Nothing Bai Wei spoke of held weight. All were insignificant, scattered details without meaning. Bai Wei smiled again. "There is also Ghost Eye City. Many years ago, it rose to fame after auctioning a complete celestial spell. Ever since, whenever it opens, countless cultivators gather. It remains open for 1 month. Aside from the auction house, private trades are allowed. However, the city itself is not large and accommodations are limited. If we arrive late, we may have to camp outside." Wang Lin pondered in silence. He allowed Bai Wei to continue leading the way, yet his thoughts deepened. After 15 minutes, Wang Lin suddenly spoke. "Junior Sister Bai, what cultivation method do you practice?" Bai Wei froze. His expression shifted instantly. He halted mid-air, then retreated several steps. His gaze fixed on Wang Lin. "Does Brother Wang look down on me?" His voice trembled faintly. "If you find me displeasing, I will leave at once and never trouble you again." Wang Lin was taken aback. He had only asked a simple question, yet Bai Wei's reaction was extreme. "Brother Bai misunderstands," Wang Lin said slowly. "I was merely asking casually." Bai Wei bit his lower lip. After a moment of hesitation, he looked at Wang Lin with a complicated expression. "The method I cultivate is called the Celestial Double Desire Art." After speaking, he fell silent and turned northward, continuing to fly. Celestial Double Desire Art. Wang Lin's eyes glimmered faintly as he watched Bai Wei's departing figure. His gaze narrowed. Within Bai Wei's body, the dense yin energy suddenly accelerated. It surged rapidly through his meridians, forming a fleeting mark. This mark was born from the flow of yin energy. Previously, the movement had been too slow for Wang Lin to detect. Now he could see it clearly. Yet it appeared only for an instant before vanishing. Wang Lin's eyes brightened slightly. He memorized that mark. He asked no further questions. Silently, he followed. At dusk, a vast circular city appeared on the horizon. It resembled a perfect ring fallen upon the earth, guarded by cultivators. Even before approaching, Wang Lin could feel layers of restrictive formations enveloping it. From the distant sky, streaks of swordlight occasionally descended, sometimes one, sometimes many. They landed outside the city, presented their invitations, and entered. Wang Lin knew better than to recklessly spread his divine sense in an unfamiliar place. Such actions could easily lead to misunderstandings. His nature was cautious. Though his cultivation had grown, his vigilance had not lessened. In the cultivation world, survival depended on caution. After brief consideration, Wang Lin gently extended his divine sense toward the city. He did not probe aggressively. It was like a soft breath drifting forward. He did not seek secrets within the city, only the fluctuations of its restrictions. It was as if he stood before a closed door. Rather than smashing it open, he merely pushed it slightly ajar and glanced inside. Though impolite, such behavior was common among cultivators. Unless one was excessively domineering, it rarely caused conflict. The city's restriction showed no resistance to Wang Lin. With his mastery and comprehension of formations, it did not even detect his presence. Yet just as his divine sense passed through the barrier and prepared to withdraw, 3 hidden divine senses suddenly erupted. They surged forth like 3 dragons charging directly at him. "What cultivator dares probe my ghost eye city?" A voice echoed from within the divine sense. "I am one of the 3 Chen brothers, Master Yi Chen." At the same moment, the 3 divine senses twisted together, forming a storm-like dragon. It coiled tightly, seeking to trap Wang Lin's divine sense and prevent its escape. 2 of the 3 belonged to early-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivators. The 3rd Master Yi Chen was at the mid-stage. Combined, their strength was formidable. Wang Lin's divine sense alone could not break free immediately. "I am Wang Lin of the Heavenly Fate sect. I hope you will forgive this offense." Wang Lin remained calm. After all, he had been the one to act first. "Your divine sense intruded recklessly and has been trapped by us. Yet you speak of forgiveness." Another gloomy voice emerged. "Today we will not make things difficult. Come personally admit your mistake and leave at once. If you dare step into Ghost Eye City again, do not blame us for being merciless." Outside the city, Wang Lin and Bai Wei stood in line. None around them noticed anything. Only those of sufficiently high cultivation could perceive the exchange. Bai Wei remained oblivious. Wang Lin, however, frowned. "We bear no ill will," Master Yi Chen sighed. "But we are responsible for the city's security. Caution is required. If you refuse, do not blame me for destroying your divine sense." He knew this approach was somewhat excessive. After all, the intrusion had not crossed any true boundary. It was merely a casual sweep. But the 3 Chen brothers had done this before. Now employed by Ghost Eye City, they had to maintain authority. Moreover, he was displeased. Among Nirvana Scryer cultivators on this planet, it was widely known that the 3 of them oversaw the city's safety. Most showed respect and refrained from probing. This person clearly did not. What use is an apology after realizing the danger? If he had the courage to fight us, I might respect him. But instead, he shrinks back upon seeing our strength. If we do not punish him, others will follow. Before the auction begins, there will be no peace. We must make an example. I will give you 3 breaths to decide. Time passed in silence. 3 breaths. In an instant, Master Yi Chen snorted coldly. The divine sense dragon roared, preparing to annihilate Wang Lin's trapped sense. "You have gone too far." Wang Lin ignored Bai Wei and Xu Li Guo. His expression darkened. With a single step, he vanished. The city's restrictions could not stop him. If they could not hinder his divine sense, how could they block his body? As he appeared, the formations flickered 3 times, then collapsed entirely. In the next moment, Wang Lin stood above Ghost Eye City. His speed was beyond comprehension. Without hesitation, he reached out and seized one of the divine sense dragons. It struggled violently, but to no avail. With a flick of his hand, he hurled it away. A thunderous explosion echoed. The dragon shattered. Within Ghost Eye City, inside a grand and elegant building, an old man sat in the 3rd room from the east. He wore a green robe, his bearing dignified. Suddenly, his eyes snapped open. He coughed up blood. His expression changed drastically. A Nirvana cleanser old monster. His figure blurred. He vanished. Moving like flowing water, Wang Lin's hand clenched into a fist. He struck forward casually. Yet in that instant, a terrifying black storm erupted, vast and immeasurable. One strand of divine sense, part of the dragon formed from divine sense, was struck by that punch. It collapsed instantly. There was no time to resist. At the very moment that divine sense shattered inside a grand building in Ghost Eye City, a purple-robed middle-aged man sat in the 2nd room from the east, calmly drinking tea. Without warning, his teacup exploded in his hand. The tea within evaporated into nothing. His face turned deathly pale. Blood surged up and he coughed violently. Shock flooded his eyes. His heart pounded wildly as he exclaimed, "Could it be?" A Nirvana cleanser. His expression shifted. He gritted his teeth. In the next moment, he vanished from the room. High in the air, Wang Lin's divine sense withdrew back into his body. His gaze was cold as he looked toward the final remaining strand of divine sense. Its owner was Master Yi Chen. Everything had happened too quickly. It ended almost before it began. The last divine sense retreated in panic. Wang Lin's expression remained indifferent. He extended his hand. The surrounding world seemed to tighten, compressing inward. The fleeing divine sense trembled as if crushed by invisible force, dragged helplessly toward him. Wang Lin seized it, then crushed it outright. Inside the first room from the east, in that same grand building, a white-haired old man stood behind a table, brush in hand, writing with great intensity upon a scroll. For cultivators of their level, dividing attention was effortless. Yet at this moment, the brush in his hand snapped. He abruptly raised his head. His face turned pale. Blood surged to his throat, but he forcibly suppressed it. Not good. He cursed inwardly. His sleeve swept outward. In a flash, he shot forward at extreme speed, leaving the room. A disturbance spread through Ghost Eye City. The collapse of the restriction did not go unnoticed. Cultivators of varying levels all lifted their heads, staring toward the sky. Wang Lin remained calm. He had already shown restraint. If those three had simply withdrawn their divine sense, none of this would have happened. 3 rays of light shot out from the city and arrived before him. The light faded, revealing 3 figures, the Chen brothers. The white-haired old man was Master Yi Chen. Behind him stood the green-robed elder and the purple-robed middle-aged man. All 3 wore bitter expressions. They could not understand it. Wang Lin's divine sense had clearly been at the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. Yet he had destroyed their divine senses with absurd ease. If it were only destruction, they would not be so shaken. Together they could have resisted. But what truly terrified them was how effortless it had been. 1 punch, 1 grasp, 1 squeeze. Simple, casual, almost careless. They could feel it clearly. He had not exerted real strength. That was the root of their fear. No Nirvana Scrya cultivator could achieve this. Even one at peak late stage could not. There had been 3 of them. There was only one explanation. This man was a Nirvana cleanser cultivator. Please forgive us, fellow cultivator Wang Lin. This matter was our fault. Master Yi Chen forced a bitter smile. The 3 stood before Wang Lin, somewhat awkward. They were all renowned figures on planet Tian Yun. Yet today they had provoked someone they absolutely should not have. Though bitterness lingered in their hearts, there was no resentment. After all, when facing a Nirvana cleanser cultivator, even an arrogant sweep of divine sense would be considered reasonable, let alone a polite one. Had they known his true cultivation, they would never have dared to obstruct him. No one would question a Nirvana cleanser entering Ghost Eye City. Even without an invitation, such a person would be treated as an honored guest. Nirvana cleanser cultivators are exceedingly rare across planet Tian Yun and nearby worlds. Any one of them could shake an entire cultivation planet with a single step. I have never heard of a Wang Lin. He claims to be from the Heavenly Fate sect. Could it be an elder disciple of the All-Seer? The 3 exchanged glances, doubt flickering in their eyes. Yet the power Wang Lin had displayed left no room for denial. The green-robed elder spoke with embarrassment. Please do not blame us, fellow cultivator Wang. The 3 of us oversee this city. We may have offended you. Please forgive us. The middle-aged man sighed inwardly, a wry smile forming. The reputation of the Chen brothers remains intact. After all, who would dare provoke a Nirvana cleanser cultivator? All 3 showed sincerity as they repeatedly admitted fault. Wang Lin's expression softened slightly. He spoke calmly. I was also at fault. Let us consider this matter settled. The 3 immediately let out sighs of relief. If Wang Lin refused to let this go, their only option would have been to flee. Offending a Nirvana cleanser was no different from courting death. Master Yi Chen spoke respectfully. Fellow cultivator Wang must have come to Ghost Eye City for the liquid purple jade. However, the auction is still several days away. Do you have a place to stay? If not, we can make arrangements." The purple-robed man and the green-robed elder both looked at Wang Lin with inviting expressions. No matter how proud they were before a Nirvana cleanser cultivator, they did not dare show it. Instead, they sought to draw closer. Liquid purple jade. Wang Lin felt the name was familiar. After a moment of thought, he nodded. "Then I will trouble you three." Master Yi Chen laughed. "No trouble at all. It is fate that we have met fellow cultivator Wang Lin." He extended his right hand in a welcoming gesture. Wang Lin turned and glanced into the distance. At the city gate, Bai Wei was staring at him. Behind Bai Wei stood Xu Liguo. "You two come here," Wang Lin said calmly. His voice was not loud, yet it clearly reached Bai Wei. Bai Wei hesitated briefly before rising into the air. Xu Liguo stared at his back, memorizing the sight, then quickly followed. When the three saw Bai Wei, they were slightly startled but said nothing. Together they traveled to the eastern district of the city. There stood a magnificent four-story building, surrounded by a courtyard of artificial mountains and flowing streams. The spiritual energy here was dense and rich. Master Yi Chen smiled. "This is our residence within the city. Fellow cultivator Wang may choose any room." Wang Lin clasped his hands. "Many thanks." Only upon seeing his smile did the three brothers truly relax. The purple-robed man laughed. "Brother Wang, please rest first. I will have fruit prepared. Since we have not met before, we should discuss the Tao together." Master Yi Chen nodded with a smile. The green-robed elder laughed. "Third brother is right. Our meeting with Brother Wang can be called a legend." Wang Lin smiled faintly. There was no reason to refuse. He was also interested in the liquid purple jade. "If so, I will accept your kindness. Brother Wang is too polite." Master Yi Chen and the others then took their leave. Bai Wei felt uneasy. With his level of cultivation, he would never have interacted with such figures despite being a disciple of the All-Seer. Servants soon arrived to arrange their accommodations. Many rooms stood empty. After Bai Wei left, Xu Liguo instinctively followed him. But after meeting Wang Lin's cold gaze, he immediately turned and obediently stayed behind. The room Wang Lin chose was on the second floor, simple yet elegant. A purple wooden table and chairs, a red cabinet, a painting hung upon the wall. All of it carried a quiet, calming presence. A carved dragon lamp stood in the room covered by a yellow embroidered shade. The light passed through it soft yet bright, filling every corner gently. The room was not large, yet Wang Lin was satisfied. Xu Liguo floated nearby, looking around with disdain. He could not understand what was so good about this place. This fiend truly lacked taste. If it were him, he would find a place filled with women. That would be comfort. Wang Lin sat quietly, eyes half closed. To others it seemed he gazed out the window. In truth, his thoughts were on Bai Wei. What exactly does Bai Wei want from me? He would not have brought me here without reason. And that strange mark within his body, Wang Lin pondered. Throughout the journey, Bai Wei had spoken of many trivial matters, yet none held meaning. What is he trying to tell me? Wang Lin frowned, recalling every word Bai Wei had spoken. Suddenly his eyes narrowed. Could it be, what he wishes to say is hidden within those trivial words? If so, then he must be facing some difficulty, something that prevents him from speaking directly. He is not afraid of me. Then, his master. A faint clue formed in Wang Lin's mind, though it remained uncertain. Perhaps there are restrictions placed upon him, preventing him from speaking, so he can only hint. He recalled Bai Wei's drastic change in expression when asked about his cultivation method. It was at that moment Wang Lin had noticed the strange mark formed by the movement of yin energy within Bai Wei. What exactly is he trying to convey? Wang Lin pondered silently. Then he lifted his head, looking toward the door. Moments later, Master Yi Chen's voice came from outside. "Brother Wang, the fruit and nectar are ready. Since night has not yet fallen, how about the four of us discuss the Tao?"